Hello everybody, let's start off your Thursday offerings. Now I was thinking about what I'm gonna cover today. I definitely want to make a video about the Thronebreaker difficulty and thoughts and opinions on it, and also look at the extent of how it changes between Cavalier, health pools and stuff like that. But this video is going to be focused on the Grandmaster Gauntlet and bugs surrounding it. And I kind of felt like there was a bit too many things to kind of bring everyone's attention to at the moment when it comes to the Grandmaster Gauntlet. So let's kind of cover this. And a fair warning at the moment. So as a lot of you know, the Grandmaster Gauntlet has returned back, but there are issues surrounding this particular mode. And you might be thinking, well, what in particular? I'm not going to start I can't open it. In other content because I'm working through Thronebreaker difficulty at the moment. But there is some interactional based issues in the content. So it comes with a warning, right? One of the first things is something that's kind of like going across two difficulties at the moment, and that is Human Torch's persistent charge bug, which looks a little bit like this. Like you can see it ramping up there to like, what was that, 20, 28 there, right? That's weird. There up to 14. This looks to be a event quest, I want to say. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, is this something to do with the way that it's crossfight? The fights are crossfight in some sort of way, depending on where this is, what this is. Especially with the health pool being 285,000? Yeah, 285,000. And that could be limited to Quest 1, maybe? But in any case, I digress. Dragos says here, and this is definitely from the Grandmaster Gauntlet, based on the health pool, the hit pool there. And yes, this player saying, I'm stuck in Grandmaster Gauntlet because of this bug, the problem that you never get the pre-fight ability back. And depending if your champion is 200 signature, because then if your champion is at 200 signature being a Human Torch, then you will have a high percentage chance of getting back your pre-fight. I'm just getting mine up at the moment, which is a 75. And what's that? Chance flat 21% every time the ability fails to act. Is it 13.75% chance to gain one persistent charge? So yeah, and chances increase by flat 21% every time the ability fails to first activate. Either that's bad RNG for that player, or it's just not coming back full stop, and that is incredibly frustrating for the situation of the player. Even more so when this particular player has gone further down into it and is wasting resources because it's not seeing it pop. As I said, I don't know if this is just a case of it's really bad luck, really bad RNG that it's not re-popping up back again. But because the player is also showcasing like another example, it may be down to an interactional issue error at the moment with Human Torch being bugged across multiple pieces of content. Like the champion could be bugged. I haven't used it. No, I have used the champion. I tell a lie. I did use the champion today and I didn't have any issues. But that doesn't mean to say that it's not either number one, device specific, or number two, it's kind of content specific, or there's something else going on. As I said, I got it returned back once to me, but you just don't know. I can't, my experience can be different to other people. I've got lots of problems when it comes to input issues at the moment, but other players will say to me, no, I'm having absolutely fine. Jealous because I'm having so many issues when it comes to inputs in this game. It's unreal. But in case that is one Grandmaster Gauntlet based bug to kind of put you aware of, and also maybe this is a general bug, especially with Pepperoni, great name by the way. Oh, I love pepperoni pizza right now. Kind of showcasing the issue right there. The second part to this is probably one of the more major bugs, and one thing that for me, my MVP for Grandmaster Gauntlet when I did it back in 2021 was Apocalypse, and it will be a champion I'll be going back to use again. And it looks like there's lots of posts, especially later on in the day. Kabam haven't responded to any of these, by the way, and that's probably because it came in later on in the day yesterday, and there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of issues. I think I was going to devote an MCN, a kind of a unexpected Thursday MCN to all the bugs and issues that are going on at the moment. But because I'm covering this now, which is the major one, I'll do an MCN tomorrow. So there's a few things going on with Apocalypse. Apocalypse can't keep his immunity from battle to battle. Very important when it comes to Grandmaster Gauntlet, because having Disorient immunity, the Bleed immunity, I think, and also the Evade suppression, three really crucial things that makes that champion so god tier for the particular content. hey, there's other options. But when you got one champion that covers like 3, 4 bases, like it's just an absolute banger of a champion. So, Apocalypse can't keep his immunity from battle to battle. This message translates to Google. So, right. Not only is his immunities, but the evade charges vanish from fight to fight too. Hearing lots of people having this problem in chats on Reddit. Same with evade charges. None of Apoc's abilities are carrying over to next fight. So yeah, this is not good. It's not good at all. And here's a good example. So this player, Darth Mingo, that's again a great name, came on here to say the same. Incursions, the evade charges are only from fight to fight. They're not carrying over. So this is, I want to say this may be from, this is incursions. So it's definitely showcasing it not working. Weird as well, because it shows in one fight, whether or not it's the fight before or the kind of like room before, zone before. There's a bleed immunity there, and it looks like the bleed immunity is re-triggering back up again. But I think it's as well pointing out that right there is the evade charges, which are up to 30, and then going into the next fight, where they're at 0. Another player saying it happened in Abyss of Legends, so it's not just about Grandmaster Gauntlet, but I will kind of like preface this is, you know, warning if doing Grandmaster Gauntlet, like, and I'll think about the way I kind of like showcase like a thumbnail there, so maybe the 2 champions, Apocalypse and Human Torch being broken, warning for using content. Both champions broken at the moment, potentially. I don't want stuff to happen in war. Yes, I actually use Apocalypse and Human Torch. Well, I don't know, a lot of time he gets banned, so I don't tend to use him. But I use Apocalypse a lot for the path that I normally go on, and I really enjoy using that champion. But then that's going to be an issue, isn't it? As to like, well, where we kind of go from this. Yeah, it's not carrying over on Disorient Path, Thronebreaker, Event Quest 1 to 1.2. I should really check back on some footage, because I'm going to do a Cavalier, Thronebreaker guide whenever I can, and try to kind of like, I'll have a look back at the footage and see if there's any kind of like loss of it. But as I said, it is going to be annoying for those that want to use the champion for other content. If you are thinking of doing a Grandmaster Gauntlet run, hold off, right? Hold up, wait a minute. And maybe come back to it when it's kind of like it's more fixed. And yeah, what I thought I'd do is I'd kind of go back in time to my raw footage that I recorded for like a video I was going to make, and it is a case that Apocalypse is totally broken with the bleed immunity. Because I left the fight, a Punisher fight with bleed immunity, which where is it? I'm gonna have to now find this again to kind of like just showcase it. But you saw just there he had no bleed immunity. So, where was this last fight? I'm just trying to get this back and ready a moment. Yeah, right, I can put it on screen right now. As you can see, in the previous fight, it's bleed immunity. So, I'm not like doing any kind of camera trickery. It is a case the champion is fully broken with this immunity. This is really annoying, actually. It's a really annoying bug. More so for those that want to do Grandmaster Gauntlet. But just from a general use with a champion, I completely clocked out of it today. That's so weird that I kind of would do that, but I'm kind of like, I don't know, MCOC is giving me a little bit of a headache at the moment with all this stuff going on. Things getting broken, having to consider new options for champions. It's a really crazy time, isn't it, in MCOC? And with a few other like issues going on, you just go, oh, come on, Kabam. Like, we're rooting for you to have a good month. Like, why? Why was all these things going on and going wrong? Yeah, it's disappointing. As I said, if you're thinking of doing some major content and you're thinking about using these champions, warning, right? Warning with these 2 ones, Apocalypse and Human Torch. Got to think carefully, maybe kind of have some different options for different content. Oh, that's tough. That is really tough. And this is like it's very fresh. So as I said, Kabam have not responded back to any of the call-outs, threads and things. I can imagine they've actively seen this stuff. I just don't think that we're gonna get an answer until later on today. And I'll have to do a fix. Like, I don't know when. That's always a concern. If they can quickly fix this, thumbs up, great. But they've got to look into this, and it's scary because it's like, are there any other champions affected by this? We just don't know. If you know of any other champions that are kind of affected by this, whether or not this is what affects the persistency, or what affects the fight by fight? Is something an issue with cross fights at the moment? What's going on? scary times, weird times in MCOC. Any case, that's going to be the video. As I said, this is a warning to players. If you're thinking of using these two champions, two very key, quintessential champions to take down content, and you're thinking about doing a Grandmaster Gauntlet, hold off, right? You might lose your resources. And I would say Kabam aren't going to compensate you for these champions being broken, because that's the usual thing when it comes to Kabam at the moment. Is if you're expecting compensation for champions that haven't been working correctly in the content like Grandmaster Gauntlet, or you're using the likes of Apoc and he's not performing to the extent that you think that he should be to because he's broken, I just don't think Kabam are going to give you the compensation. So hold off. If you just started, come out, wait, grab some more resources for a later day going back in, because both champions are a little bit broken, a little bit wonky at the moment. Or use alternatives, or hold off. But in any case, that's the video. We'll try and have an update for you in the MCN tomorrow. So yeah, look out for that one. Check out some other content located on screen. I'm going to get back to work on Thronebreaker, get a guide and some other stuff ready. I'll see you all later on. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.